So this is Cooking with Sue Moulton, and I'm going to be cooking a roasted chicken and asparagus dish for you. And I want to tell you a little bit about the pan we're going to use first. I have it heating up. This is our non-stick stainless steel. I'm going to get close enough, hopefully, that you guys can see. There we go, the pattern. See the little honeycomb pattern on there? That metal is what is going to brazen the chicken thighs that I'm going to be cooking on here, and it's going to clean up so easily. This is literally a sponge will clean this pan up very easily. So I have it. It is stainless steel, so this will work on your induction ovens if you have one. It goes in the oven. It also goes in the dishwasher. It is heat safe under the broiler as well, and we're going to be cooking with, you can use either olive oil or canola oil. I like to use grapeseed oil when I am using higher heats, because grapeseed oil has a higher smoke content, so you don't have to worry about things smoking when you, hey Claudia, when you are cooking. So we're going to start by heating some oil in the pan. And before you guys got here, I think you can see it. I took some chicken thighs out and I sprinkled my chicken thighs with some Dijon mustard rub that Pampered Chef sells. This is fabulous. I've got another great recipe that my daughter loves. It's called, hey Amy, there's these wraps that are really good. I'll have to find the recipe, but it uses the same Dijon mustard rub. So I sprinkled the thighs with the rub on one side, and then I'm going to put them in the pan and I'm going to sprinkle the other side. Now, I hate chicken cooties, so I wear gloves. Now, don't freak out when I tell you what we're doing next, because the chicken won't be 100% cooked when I start this, okay? So we're going to put the chicken in the pan, and we're going to not touch it or turn it or even peek at it for 4 minutes. And I know that that's going to be hard for some of you, like it was for me, because I'm the type of person that peeks, but you really need to leave it in the pan for 4 minutes without peeking at it, because what happens is that's where you get the fond. Fond is the little burnt on bits that create a really nice gravy when you are doing like a beef stew or a chicken dish. So you need to not touch it so that it can get those burnt on grill marks or burn marks in it. So I set a timer for 4 minutes because the recipe's really particular. They're like, do not touch it for 4 minutes. So let me see if I can bring you guys closer. Hold on. I always feel like you're so far away when I'm doing this video, so I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing over here. So in the meantime, we are going to slice up some mushrooms. We're going to slice up the mushrooms with our quick slice. It has serrated blades that come to a V shape at the center, so you can actually do tomatoes and mushrooms, grapes. So we're going to put a bunch of mushrooms in here. This is perfect for Father's Day, Mother's Day. If you've got somebody at home that you need to cook for, so any dads out there that are watching this video, you definitely want to get this with our pancake shaker bottle for making pancakes and strawberries, sliced strawberries, and I have a whipped cream maker as well, and those 3 items would be the perfect gift for Mother's Day, because the kids can cook Mother's Day meal, and then you can have the products to go for Mom to use at another time. So why get her flowers that are going to die, right? Give her something that she's going to enjoy later after the fact. So I like this because I use this a lot for peppers, and when you're cutting peppers, it makes them the perfect thickness, and you don't have to worry about when you're doing a veggie tray or if you're stir frying that some are going to be hard and some are going to be soft. So, hey, Claudia, Dawn, Amy, I got a bunch of guys jumping on. So the next thing we're going to do is with that same tool, the quick slice, we're going to slice up our grape tomatoes. And I'm going to put these on a different cutting board because they go in separately. So let me just grab a different cutting board to dump them onto. When you're doing tomatoes, you can do beefsteak tomatoes or grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. You want to kind of rock it. If you can see me, I'm rocking it back and forth because, as you know, tomatoes are super juicy. And if you're wearing glasses, they're going to splurt all over you. Some of the other things I use this for is maybe avocados. I've done Sara Lee pound cake, and I made a really yummy strawberry shortcake, which is kind of yummy. And it makes these perfect slices so that you can layer your strawberry shortcake. Oh, did you see that? There was a seed that just went flying. It's the way it is when you cook this too. And then I want to teach you a little bit about asparagus. For those of you who have not used asparagus a lot in your dishes, a lot of you may not know how to properly cut your asparagus so that it is prime for cooking. And what I mean by that is there's a part on asparagus that gets really woody. It's called woody. And you'll know what I mean when you eat it. It's kind of stringy at the end. And the way to determine where the woody part begins is by taking your asparagus and bending it. I'm going to show you that in a second after I finish this last thing of tomatoes, so I can do it without squirting myself. There we go. So what I mean by that is you're going to take your asparagus and you're going to just bend it, and you're going to bend until it breaks. Where it breaks is the area that is not woody. Oh, my timer's going off. For those of you who are paying attention, I've actually done a composting bucket now. So we're going to use our cute little tongs. And when you push them down, did you see that button? It went from top to bottom and it opens up our tongs. And now we're going to turn our chicken over. I'm going to zoom in on it for you guys. Alright, can you guys see that? Look at that. Fabulous. See all those nice burnt on bits? That's what you want to make a fond. And then we're only doing 1 minute on the other side. And you're going to go, oh my God, the chicken's not going to be done. We know, because it's actually going in the oven at 425 when we're done. So I'm just going to take the asparagus. I'm going to go to the end and I'm going to just bend until it breaks. Then I know I'm at the right spot. I'm going to take my ends. You guys, I got to buy a composting bucket. So if somebody out there has got a composting bucket that you really like or can, I checked, I'm going to go to Bed Bath & Beyond, but I want to find one that has the screen on it so that the flies don't get into it. And I really want it to be like stainless steel or something that I can easily put into the dishwasher. So we're going to break all our asparagus up, and then we're going to cut our asparagus into 1-inch chunks. Hey, babe. Dinner's cooking. Hey, babe. So my husband's here, so that's good. So I got somebody to eat dinner with. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do a lemon as well. So let me just move this aside. Oh, there's our 1 minute. Okay, so we're going to take our chicken out. Keep in mind the chicken will not be completely cooked, because we are going to put it back into the oven. And we're going to cook the rest of it. So now we are going to, I need to cook up actually, let me take that off the burner for a second. I need to do our onion. So onions next on the list. Let me make some room here. I'm crammed into this tiny little corner because I wanted you guys to see it all, but I have a whole counter space on the other side. So onion. How many of you guys cry like crazy when you cut onions? I just learned this like a month ago at a retreat, and it's been saving me, I gotta tell you. You take the root end of an onion, so the end that has the root on it, and you're going to cut around on an angle the core, and you're going to take the core out of the onion, because onions get their sulfides from the soil, and there are only 2 places in the United States that we don't have sulfuric soil. And so those are the only places that you can get onions that won't make you cry. So you're just going to take the core out just like that. And that's where most of your tears are coming from. And we're going to throw it away. And you don't end up using that part of your onion anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. And then we're just going to cut the back end off of it. And we're going to use our quick slice. So this is called a quick slice or simple slicer. It comes with 3 settings, 1, 2, and 3. It changes the thickness of the blade. Most important thing is that whatever you can puncture on these little pokey prongs here, you can slice. Potatoes, tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, radishes, mushrooms, celery, anything that you can poke on here you can slice. Today I did an apple and I sliced it super thin and I put peanut butter on it. So we're just going to, I'm going to turn the onion upside down actually, and I'm going to center it in my safety guard. Now, anybody that's on my Pampered Chef team knows that the rule is when you demo this tool, you have to tell the audience that you must always use the food guard, because this blade is so sharp that you will definitely cut yourself. There is a guard here. Let me turn this way a little bit. There you go. There's feet on one end, so you can hold it like this and slice right into your pan. So I'm going to just slice right down into the pan. There we go. And then there's no waste. There we go. That piece had a little bit of skin on it. No waste there. Always put it in the locked position before you stick it back into your dishwasher or your sink for cleaning so nobody cuts themselves. And we are going to saute up the mushrooms and the onions with some garlic. So I cut up a bunch of mushrooms there. We'll get that going again. And while that's cooking, I'm going to show you how to do the garlic and the lemon juice. So for those unfamiliar with our new knives, we just redesigned our knife line. This is the new knife. Here's an old one. You'll notice that the handles on the old one, you couldn't see that it is a full shaft, that the metal goes straight through the whole piece here. It does, but you couldn't see it, so we designed it a little bit different. You'll also notice the thickness of the handles are thinner on the new knives, and that just makes it much easier for short people like me that have small hands to grip the knife. Now, when you're using a chef's knife or a utility knife, you're supposed to choke up on the blade, and I joke, you use your loser fingers so you don't lose a finger, and you pinch the thumb and the knuckles. So you're going to choke up and you're going to pinch here. Your fingers aren't anywhere near the blade, but you're pinching the blade. When you're cutting something round, like a lemon, lime, or clementine, you want to hold it in what's called a bridge. Meaning you make a bridge with your hand, like this, and then you put your knife in the center of the bridge and you cut. So that way your knife doesn't slide off your round tool and onto your fingers. Very important. And then this here is our citrus press. And although it looks like it goes in this way, it goes in upside down because you're turning it inside out. And we are going to take this and we are going to, let me get a little stir here. Get our onions going. We're going to press our lemon and watch how much juice you get out of this. And usually before I press a lemon, oh, I just squirted the, I usually zest it first so that I have some zest that I can put into a drink or into a recipe later, and you can freeze the zest. And we're going to put in 1/3 of a cup of chicken broth or wine. White wine will work with that. And what this does is this is going to deglaze the bottom of the pan and get all those yummy burnt on bits off so that we can have those in the rest of the recipe. It'll just add depth of flavor. Now, I've been doing this as a show recipe at my demos, and one of the things that I recommend is that we serve it over some rice. You can do brown rice or white rice in our micro cooker. It takes 30 minutes on high to do brown rice. You just stick it in high power and off it goes. If you're doing white rice, it's 5 minutes on high power and 15 minutes on half power. So then the rest of the recipe is I'm just going to slice up the asparagus. I'm going to lay the asparagus and the tomatoes in there. I'm going to toss it around a little bit. We're going to cook this liquid till about half of the liquid is cooked off, so a couple minutes, maybe 3 minutes. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes, the asparagus. I'm going to put the chicken on top. I'm going to add more Dijon rub to the mix, and then I'm going to put the whole thing into the oven. I will post the recipe below so you guys can duplicate this yourself. It's super simple and it's got great flavor. You could add rice to it. I'm trying to do, low grains for the next 30 days. So I won't be adding wine or rice to this recipe, but when I normally do it, I would probably put it over a bowl of rice.